All right, so let's get started here at measure 1. I'm just going to play it for you, and then we'll talk about what's going on. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going to work on that for right now. Obviously, I'm going to break it down a little bit, smaller sections than that. But that's the first 12 measures so you can hear. Now, what's going on here in the right hand? These are great chords to take out of this song and utilize in other songs, and then also to practice these separate. One thing I did when I was writing this is I'm trying to think like, well, what's some kind of hidden little gems that you can get from within the song, and this is one of them right here, this chord voicing. This is a B flat 7 chord. Notice now there's no root in here. So this would work if you were playing with a bass player. It also works if you're playing solo piano. I'll get to that in 1 second. Let me do the chord first of all. So B flat 7, I have the 7th, the 3rd, the 13th, my 9th, my 5th, and my root. This is a chordal up here. Chordal built on the 9th, going up. So it gives me a nice spread out chord. If I wanted to, I can do. See how I can hit that octave of the root if I want to. Okay, but I left out the roots because even if you're playing solo piano, you don't have to play the roots of the chords all of the time. Sometimes it's nice to have that little bit of ambiguity. So let me go through here and you can hear it. So you hear these chords, you don't necessarily hear that it's those two roots going on down there, but that's okay. The chord sounds really nice. Right? And then when I moved to the E flat 7, I kept these same notes up here. Okay? I just moved down to E flat 7. And here I have the 3rd of E flat 7, the 7th, and then the 9th. And I'm actually just going to change something over here to make it, well, I'll change that later. But okay, so you might see some sharps and flats mixed in with there. Okay? So here we have the 3rd, the 7th, and the 9th. Same chord going on up here in the right hand. But now, instead of it being the 9th, the 5th, and the root, as it was on the B flat 7, now I have the 13th, 9th, and 5th. Okay, so the rhythm here is dee ba da, da dee ba, dee ba da, da dee ba. I'm just saying dee ba da, da dee ba. If you need help on that vocalization, check out the Mastering Rhythms Volume 1 and 2 DVDs. All right, now rather than just doing this, I could have done that again for the 4th measure. Instead, what I did is I did this little lick. It's just going right up your B flat blues scale. So it's B flat, D flat, E flat, and then lift up and hit that E flat to E quickly. And you can try holding out that last note, the D flat, C sharp it says there, but or playing it short. And then you're going to lift up quickly, get back to that E flat 7. Now when you're trying to move between those chords quickly like that, what I find is nice is just play the last note that you were playing, okay? So play the very last note, and then try getting back to that, try getting to that next chord. So you see how I'm just lifting up right from that one note, and I'm moving back. Okay? So again from the top. We'll we'll start there on measure 6 when we come back. What I want to talk about before we finish this chapter is the articulation. This is what brings this stuff alive. If I just played, it doesn't pop. It doesn't have a nice bounce to it. It's not exciting. It's not alive. So bounce off those. See how you can also soft to loud? Yeah, dig into that note. And you hear how that first E flat is short. Okay, so try working on that articulation. Try doing all different ways. Try like, kind of like trying to make it a little bit more legato and blend it together. Try all short. You can hear how it's a mixture of legato and staccato. It's not just one or the other, all right? And also, we're throwing in dynamics in there as well. It's not that I'm just going, okay? I've heard people play like that, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit too much, all right? So what you want to do is, da-dan, dan, dun, dun, dun. You can even sing it as well. You're trying to actually, come to think of it, you're trying to replicate that, the dynamics of the voice. Now, a brass instrument is able to do it a lot easier. They're able to get that. Well, now, how do you do that on piano? How you do that is it's between each note. So what that means is one note might be a little bit softer and it gets a little bit louder on the next note. So the first one. So what happens is I'm not really going, yeah, but if you listen, it almost sounds like that. Because the second chord that I play is louder than that first chord, all right? So since the sound is still kind of ringing over, okay? So try working with that before moving on, because that's a great technique to get down that articulation and also those dynamics. I'll see you in the next chapter.